Hello, YouTubes. This is just a continuation of the conversation I was talking about, and it's kind of persisting in the same direction, and I just thought it'd be interesting to explore it a little bit more. I have a party to go to in a little bit, so I'm short on time, but I'll get this out of the way in one take. He said, how does the claim not make sense that Darwin believed his own theory, like he didn't believe in his own theory for all species? Einstein hardly believed in his own theories on black holes, so maybe it's unlikely Darwin was the same situation and I was misinformed. But the comment makes sense, which it doesn't. He said, I'm simply saying not every species has to evolve, alligators being one example. Now, I'm not going to read his whole response, but I'm going to go into what I said. So he said, and it's just a theory, but theories are respected facts. That's a quote from the video. Theories are speculation, he said. So the narrator didn't really win any argument here. And I've heard this a lot of times. I'm sure everyone has who's debated creationists or anyone along those lines. No, I said, you're utterly misusing that term. In science, a theory isn't just quote-unquote speculation. That's called a hypothesis. As used in science, a theory is an explanation or model based on observations, experimentation, and reasoning, especially one that has been tested and confirmed as a general principle helping to explain and predict natural phenomena like gravity or evolution. No offense, and I really didn't want to offend him. I know I was getting condescending, but I was frustrated at this point. But by your logic, gravity and atoms are just speculation. There is no need for a species to evolve in Darwinism, and if one doesn't, it doesn't mean that Darwin's theory doesn't apply. What I should have said is there's no need for a species to, drastically evolve into another species. There are always going to be slight variations, but you understand. You're misunderstanding evolution in a very fundamental way. That was my point. Quote, I was trying to use creation as a parallel to evolution, and then I just said, well, they're not really parallel. Creationism actually includes the creation of the Earth 6,000 years ago, and attempts to refute the majority of modern science because of claims like that. The video I favorited was referring to young Earth creationists, that specific sect, who believe that the Earth is approximately 6,000 years old, not deists, which is what he was talking about originally. A deist is someone who believes, basically, and I'm simplifying it for the sake of just a few sentences, that there was some sort of God who created things, but then basically let them be. This word doesn't often come up because it's irrelevant in evolution. If you look at the mainstays of creationism, they're young Earth. Answers in Genesis is a good example, and are also fundamentalist Christians. He was trying to play the whole, well, not all creationists are stupid, and whatnot, and that's fine, but the majority and the mainstay of them, the thing that really backs it up is all young Earth. So he really, I don't know, he really doesn't understand what he's talking about at this point. But I'm not upset. I want him to, he's kind of an old friend of mine. He used to be around school, and I want him to understand it better. I hope that he goes out and researches it a little bit more. What I'm really going to do is, I'll talk to him in private. Generally speaking, I want to do that with anybody who has arguments like this, but at this point, he shouldn't be arguing, he should be researching. And that's my point. If there's anybody out here who is thinking about debating, no, if you don't kind of understand what I'm going to say first, then maybe you shouldn't be. So, alright. Thanks for the listen.